Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this edition of Leap Project. I'm your host, Rex Bear, and we have Christa Clark with us from artisticvegan.com. She's also on YouTube. She has a very cool cooking show. And what I really like about what Christa does is she is all for the planet. She's organic, vegan, non-GMO. We're talking creme de la creme type food here without the side effects of a lot of these groceries and foods and things you get at the grocery store out here. You know, I mean, we're talking food that looks good, tastes good, and you'd think it's actually bad for you because it tastes so good and it looks so good, but it's not. So, Christa, it's great to have you on the show here with us at Leap Project. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on again. I really appreciate it. And for starting your Artistic Vegan show. It was first episode on Leap Project.
I am shocked that Food Network or some channel hasn't called you up and said, hey, we need you over here to do these cooking shows for us, because you really do have a neat niche, I feel. And literally every single dish that you present, like you take these pictures of it where it looks like something out of a 4 or 5 star resort. I mean, you really have a great knack for making wonderful, wonderful food. So hopefully they'll see this and they'll give you a call, and pretty soon you'll have, you know, you'll be right next to Chopped or something like that. Chopped vegan style. That's what you should have.
You never know. Dream big, right?
Yeah. So, you know, and I'm really excited to see what you're going to share with us today. You put together some neat dishes for us. So what do you got?
Well, I did Gerald's suggestion. He said everyone loves burgers, which is true. So sweet potato black bean burgers is what we have today. And you only need about 6 ingredients. And if sweet potatoes aren't your thing, you could use like a regular potato just fine. And I don't see where that wouldn't work out. So I have the ingredients here. And it's equal amounts sweet potatoes and black beans. I have 3 cups of each. You could use more or less. And a 1/3 cup of sriracha sauce. We like that sweet and that spice. If you don't, you know, you could use less. And then salt, pepper, and cayenne to taste. And then you just throw in some cilantro and about 3/4 cup of your favorite flour. Just have like a corn flour. You could use whatever you like. And then you mash it up with either a bean masher, you could use a potato masher, a pie masher, your food processor, a fork, your hands. You can use, pretty much anyone can make these with whatever they've got. And this is what you end up with, is that. And this you can, you know, easily just take that and put it into a ball and make your burger. And this is actually Gerald's technique. And I don't know if this happens with your loved one, or if you've ever been in a relationship and you've given them advice and then they don't take it, and then when they do take it, they're like, wow, that's really good advice. But that happens with Gerald and I. He comes up with all these inventive great ideas, and I'm kind of like slow, like, I don't know. And then I try them, and they're solid. They're always spot on. I should just try it the first time, but, you know, live and learn.
Yeah, that's cool. I can definitely see that when you've got Gerald's mind with, you know, being the engineer mindset, and then you're like this artist that's artistic vegan. You combine the two together, and there you go.
Yeah, he comes up with all kinds of really cool inventive things. He calls it, instead of Jimmy rigged, he calls it Jerry rigged.
Nice. Have you guys came up with Nibiru burgers yet, or like Anunnaki names for different plates? This is the Enki buffet or something like that. This is good enough to eat at the head table with Enki and his crew.
I should do more on that. I did one caduceus pizza in the shape of a caduceus, and that was kind of cool. And I don't know, I should do like alien cookies or Anunnaki something, or, you know, spaceship, their disc. That'd be cool.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Good idea. Gold, like monatomic gold.
That was your idea.
Pancakes. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're digressing, folks, but we're getting into the good stuff here. So let me ask you a quick question about these burgers, too, because this is the first thing that came to my mind. Is I saw recently, every once in a while, I'll watch Chopped or Bobby Flay do his, you know, competition cooking shows, and they did this one where somebody came on and threw a curveball. He said, I'm going to make a vegan burger, and Bobby was like, whoa, that's the last thing I know how to make. I mean, those are tough to make a good burger that is not made out of meat, you know, especially from us meat lovers over here, us carnivores. That's a skill.
Yeah, we've had so many, you know, Gerald, some people say he's so lucky, oh, you know, you're so lucky that, you know, you're going to try all these fun foods, that he's gone through a lot of taste testing too. And, you know, there's been a lot of failed burgers along the way and failed breads. And so it has taken a while to get to it. And I actually have one on my site called The Best Vegan Burger. And it actually, I mean, it looks and sizzles and tastes and browns like a regular beef patty. It's bizarre. And
that's cool.
you can even have, like I have beef powder and stuff, give it that reddish tint and, you know, whatever you want. So for these are easy because it's just some potatoes, some beans, some hot sauce, some salt, pepper, little herbs, whatever you want, little flour. So most people have that kind of stuff around, and then you just put it into a patty. And if not, it's relatively inexpensive ingredients. And this is Gerald's method here, is I have a tortilla press. And he said, you know, a burger, they're really pressed together really well. And so it's his idea to take it and put it in a tortilla press, and you bring it down about 3/4 of the way. Otherwise, you'll get a tortilla. And then you just, you know, shape it a little bit, so it's kind of got that feel, and then you got a beautiful burger. And then when they're done, then they come out and they look like this.
Oh yeah. Looks nice and hearty, and absolutely.
Yeah, and they hold up. I mean, they hold up really, really well. And I think it's that pressing them together so well that they hold up really great. So we actually just have one.
Nice.
You can wait. It smells so good in here. But you can. We had it on a salad, but you can have it on a bun. And so I can show you what that looks like if you put it all together.
Now, do you ever add like jalapenos or different spicy foods and stuff like that into those burgers, or do you just usually do the sriracha?
Oh yeah, you could do jalapenos, habaneros, serranos, you know, your favorite pepper.
Ghost pepper.
Yeah, if you want to go really wild, maybe against 3 batches. Spread it out. Yeah. So I have some buns that I made this morning, and
so those are homemade also then?
Yeah. So
nice. How long does it take to make those things?
Well, the buns take about 20 minutes to bake and about 15 minutes to put together, so maybe about 40 minutes. Okay. You can put them together and then maybe do your yoga and then come back and then they're done, and you know, done 2 things in the morning and, you know, rock on. Nice. So you've got your bun, and then.
And do you do those gluten-free too?
I did. I'll even make my own flour.
Nice.
So I have different flour blends here, and I'm really lucky. They actually sell rice flour pre-made. You can make it by just blending it, but if you don't blend it fine enough, you can get a hard chunk, and that's really the pits if you bite in and you hit a hard piece of rice. So they have some rice flour kind of pre-made, and it's just rice flour with a starch, like a potato starch, you know, cornstarch, if you can get an organic one, or whatever kind of starch you want, arrowroot, and then some kind of a gum, like a xanthan gum, and it's kind of a vegan baking secret trick for gluten-free, and it holds everything together. It acts like a glue, and those 3 together are all you need. And that makes some flour that you can make bread with, pizza with. I use it all the time in almost all my recipes.
You know, I got to interject here real quick, because there's a lot of people that listen to Leap Project that have left comments when I've done shows on vaccines, and they've talked about how they have kids with that have been labeled with autism or Asperger's or some type of neurological issues or digestive issues, and even a lot of people themselves that have been affected that have left messages. And I know one thing that is huge to help out, especially with people that have been, you know, literally physically, mentally damaged because of the chemicals and the ingredients in these cocktails that they inject people with. It bypasses the bloodstream and goes directly into the immune system. Well, when certain foods have more effect on, especially kids, you know, when they're growing up and they're eating food that they're allergic to, like wheat with the gluten and a lot of the dairy and a lot of the different processed foods, well, it's more difficult for them to function. They're more lethargic. It's tougher for them to get up in the morning. They can't focus as well in school. So what you do is extremely important. And you know what would be really neat, Christa, is if one of these days you could put together, well, you might already have, I know you've got a really cool cooking book, but maybe put something together for people that have those kind of opportunities that they have to work with on a daily basis, so they could have like an easy go-to sheet and say, okay, Monday through Friday, we'll cook this. because a lot of times people just have a difficult time getting structured. You know, they're so used to going to the grocery store and picking up stuff that's available. Oh yeah, that's organic. Okay, so that'll work. But then they really find out that even though it's labeled organic, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in it that they're not supposed to have anyway. It would be really cool to see what you do more mainstream and easier for people in this, you know, 3-second mind span, essentially, where people are doing multiple things at once most of the time now. That'd be really cool to see. So I encourage you to maybe think about that down the road, because that would be another way that you could reach out to so many people that really could use your help personally, because this is your expertise.
Yeah, and so many people say, you know, where do I start? You just don't know where to start, and it's kind of overwhelming. There's, you know, so much you don't know about. And I heard this really good advice, and I think it's great. Just find your favorite meals. So if you already have a weekly rotation that you're doing, maybe you do Taco Tuesday, maybe you have pizza on Fridays, maybe you have spaghetti every week. If you're already making those recipes, then you can Google, how do I make this vegan? And start playing around until you find that right recipe for you. So that's one way to do it without.
Or just go to artisticvegan.com.
Yeah, or just go to artisticvegan.com and I'll have you covered. Yeah, and then for the kids, absolutely, the food does help. Gerald, a young son, and he has a degenerative disease, and he would come over after eating the gluten and the dairy and the meat, and he'd be very lethargic and on different big pharma drugs, and he'd be almost like just a zombie, just out of it. And then it's very heartbreaking. But then he would migrate towards, he would naturally choose, like I would put quinoa out and different things, and he just loved the food that was good for his body. And it was wild, just to watch him like migrate towards it. And by the end, by the time he left, he was just dancing and happy and laughing. And so I definitely think that what you eat and movement has has a really big impact on what you feel, whether you have a syndrome or not.
Absolutely. It's so important. And thanks for sharing that. I mean, I get emotional too when I think about people that I know that have been affected and stuff like that. And it's not cool. So yeah, let's move on from there and let's get into some more of these amazing products you're putting together. Walk us through this. This is great.
Yeah, so for the sauce, this is so easy. I just took hummus and some sriracha. This was a hummus with the red pepper, so it does have a bit more red than usual. But yeah, we obviously like sriracha, but you could use, mustard, ketchup, whatever you want. And then, just put your regular toppings on there, so some tomatoes, and then your patty.
Now, do you get most of this stuff just at like local farmers markets or grocery stores, combination, grow it yourself?
We used to grow it ourselves, and that was really awesome. We've had a few different gardens, and that's, obviously the best. We have heirloom seeds, and you can make your own compost. You can grow completely organic heirlooms, so these seeds go back hundreds of years, and you're getting, the best. I mean, when you taste a tomato from the garden, there's nothing like it, or anything from the garden, really. And it's just so nourishing for your heart and for your soul. And we don't have that opportunity right here. But I suppose if we really wanted it, we could make it happen. That's a lot of it. It's just if you want it, you can make it happen, whether it's a vertical garden or, however you do it. But we have a lot of expats in the area, so they're kind of worried about organic and is it good for me? Is it non-GMO? So I think they've made a precedent in this particular area to sell more organic food, so I can actually buy practically anything I want, which is kind of wild. We've lived in other parts of Mexico where it's just not the case, and you get what you get. And honestly, I mean, you can make a lot with tomatoes and avocados and onions, and you can usually get that anywhere. So here they have a lot of organic produce, and a lot of the farmers bring it in, and they have beautiful farmers markets where they're all organic. They have a meeting on another indoor building where everyone comes and they bring organic and homemade food. And then they also have just the little mom and pop markets where they're selling the local food. And I love it because it's still covered in dirt, and I can get, like 4 bags for like, $20 if I really splurge, it's kind of wild. But then we have like the more American stores, and they are, more American priced. And we also live near Driscoll Berry Farm, so they grow organic berries. So we get organic berries all year round. So it's a really nice area that we live. It's kind of below Guadalajara up in the mountains, and so it's a nice growing season all year round. And yeah, so we're pretty blessed that way.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
people treat you good out there. You don't ever feel uncomfortable because of the color of your skin or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like anywhere you go. When you first go into a place, they don't really know you, and you're just, whoever paying for the, the bill. But then once they get to know you, then, like, I go into the dry goods store, and everyone knows my name. And it's like, Christa, and ¿cómo estás? And just really friendly. And, like, the subway guy I'm friends with. And so you meet different people. And I think just being in the community a while, you make friends. And, obviously, if you speak some Spanish, then they're pleased. And with Trump coming into the office, we've been kind of like, oh, is the tone going to change? I don't know. And in some places it has. I was in a store the other day that I'd never been in, and all of a sudden I heard Presidente Trump, Estados Unidos. Oh my God, what did they say? I better get out. But they were really still very friendly to me. We've never had any problems. I mean, everyone's been very nice to us here in Mexico.
That's good. I know that there's been some concern for people that I know that live in Mexico, and that's definitely, that's good to hear. So yeah, it sounds to me like people are really friendly out there. I mean, I'm here in San Antonio, and it's about 60% Hispanic, and there's a lot of people here that don't even speak English very good, and they very good people. They love their families. And I really respect them. So one thing that I find interesting though is there's also the opposite side of that. I've met people before that are from Mexico and come out here and they're very racist. Like they're very anti-American, pro-Mexico, like they're superior. And I think to myself, well, if that's how you feel, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be a lot happier at home. Go back home. I mean, if we're so bad, then why are you coming over here attacking us? But anyway, that's
because there's too many Americans there too. No?
Yeah. They must not like them over there, so they come over here and then they start talking about how great it is over there. But yeah, in reality, they get made fun of back home. So anyway, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean,
who knows?
Everyone's got like their own sense of like nationality, or or at least not everyone, but our countries have tried to bring that within us, right?
Sure.
And I mean, when we went to Guatemala and then we came back into Mexico, it was just weird seeing all these people in Guatemala trying to go over to Mexico, and it felt like the reverse of Mexico trying to get into America. And it's sad that it's that way, but there's always that pull for what's on, the grass is greener on the other side, what's over there.
Sure. Well, and also I've heard that it's a lot stricter if you try and sneak into Mexico from Guatemala versus trying to sneak into America from Mexico.
Yeah. Like when we went to Guatemala, it was like, oh, pay this fee. Oh, you're 1 day late on being here. Wait here for 4 hours, It's like, okay. And our baggage is over there, like unattended, or it's we've been in some nerve-wracking situations, but we've always been okay, and so that's good.
Well, Gerald's got Enki watching out for you guys, so you soft connection there.
You guys are on side, so as long as I keep it in line.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, so now that burger looks, I mean, I want to see that I want one like right now. Is there any way that you can UPS me a couple of those real quick? So looks pretty good.
I know somebody needs to invent an app where you can at least minimally smell it, or, like put your face around it or hold it or take
smell vision.
Yeah. They can be a bad thing too, right? So
yeah, it could be a really bad thing.
So that's it. So looks pretty great, and you can put more sauce on it. Yeah.
That looks delicious. That really does. It looks like something once again out of a magazine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's it doesn't really take too much effort, and you can buy your buns, and you don't have to make them. So, and if you do make them, I make like a double batch, and I'll freeze them, and then I have so many of these patties now that I can freeze if you want when you have the mixture made. If you don't want to make them that day, you can just stack them up in between parchment, put them in the freezer. One night you don't want to make dinner, pull them out, and you're a hero. Without any, yeah. So that's cool.
And what else do you got for us?
I did whip together. We just put them on a plate. It was kind of last minute. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe we don't have a dessert planned, and you're all about dessert.
Oh yeah.
I have some cookies that I just whipped up really fast.
And do you ever do like the calorie index on any of this stuff, or break down how much protein, how much fiber, how much?
Yeah, I'm inconsistently consistent. I'm
Sure.
pretty inconsistent. But I do. I add them to certain recipes and in some cookbooks. Like my first cookbook, I had them. In my second one, I think. No, I don't think I had them because I thought, well, I'm really trying to focus more on the health of the food, and I don't want you to be so focused on the calories. Like if you focus more on how many colors you're getting, if you're getting some greens, some red, some orange, some different vegetables in there, and you eat until you're full, then you're probably going to be okay. And that's the beauty of plant-based whole food eating is we actually eat quite a lot. you eat a lot, but you're constantly just, every 18 hours digesting and moving and getting those new nutrients and, replenishing your body. So it's pretty awesome. So I just made some cookies. These are so healthy. It's ridiculous. They are made from almonds.
Almonds are awesome.
Yeah. So it's just like a cup of almonds, and I put them in my blender, and then you blend them up until it's a flour. And so that's really easy. And then you take some medjool dates, and then you can either use peanut butter, almond butter, tahini. I have tahini because that's what I had, which is just sesame seeds ground up, and then chocolate chips, and a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of salt. And you just put this together in your food processor. And the beauty of it is you can roll those up into balls and have them as little tiny raw chocolate chip bites. Or you can put them into bars, dip them in chocolate, have little like chocolate chip bars. Or you could just add a little baking powder, baking soda, and an egg, which is just water and flax meal or chia seeds, and you mix that up, and then you add that into that mixture, and then you can bake them like I did, and that's what I did. And
Now, can you do eggs if you're vegan?
no.
Okay.
No, you can't even do honey.
You can't even do what?
You can't even have honey. No animal products at all.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's but I mean maple syrup. My God, if you have pure maple syrup from Canada, it's delicious. Or pure agave syrup. Or here they've even got we splurge and get little treats. Like this has it's pure agave syrup, but it's flavored with hazelnut. And so sometimes we'll add that to our coffee instead of like a syrup made with high fructose corn syrup. Then you can get a little sweet every now and then.
I like the genetically modified E. coli feces with high fructose corn syrup and thimerosal and mercury personally. I mean, I think that adds an extra flavor of death that,
It's crazy.
I'm being sarcastic. I hope everybody.
I know you are. It's like, I just bought something the other day. It was a spray oil. I thought, I'll be healthy and use a little less oil. And it was the first time in a long time I didn't look at the ingredients, and propylene glycol or some propylene son of a every
that stuff.
time. Yeah, so you really got to read your ingredients. I'm a big
Isn't
proponent.
that like KY jelly? Sorry to interrupt.
I think it's like antifreeze, or it's like I think it's like antifreeze or something.
Oh, sweet. I mean, everybody's got to have that. I mean, right? That's typically what they put in stuff.
Or it's something crazy. Shouldn't be put in your body, and it's not good for you, and it's in so many things. So I think the less ingredients the better. One ingredient the best, and from there build it. It takes a little time to get used to making your own stuff, but once you do, then there's nothing more rewarding, and it tastes so good when you make it yourself. Add a little dash of love or a little home touch, and it's really well received every single time. So that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It's also, if you know exactly what you're putting in your body, you're preparing it. A lot of times if you go out to eat, who knows what they're doing behind the scenes in the kitchen? Who knows if they're washing their hands after they go to the bathroom? I mean, if you've watched the movie Waiting, which is hilarious, by the way.
I haven't watched it. I haven't.
Gotta watch that film, because if you don't go out to eat, you'll be like, okay, this is why I don't go out to eat. If you're somebody that goes out to eat regularly, or let's add to this. If you're an asshole when you go out to eat to the world, I don't think you'll do that again.
Rethink that instant karma.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, we went out to eat one time. We don't eat out a lot, but when we went out one time, I think it was after I published my book. We thought, we'll celebrate. I cooked all these recipes. We'll go out to eat. I hear there's vegan restaurant in town, and we're in a really small town in Mexico. And so vegan, I don't know what it's going to be like, but we go there, and oh my gosh, I mean, he was like mopping the floor with the same hands, grabbing things with the same hand, you know, everything was all together, no washing in between. And we were just like, oh my God, never again. So we don't need alcohol, no. But there were nice experiences, you know, too.
That's funny. Well, I'll tell you what's, do you have anything else you'd like to prepare for us? Or if you don't, what's next for you? Because I know you've got a lot going on with Artistic Vegan.
Well, I'm really into this Artistic Vegan show. Now we started it, You Created a Monster. That's like what I like doing now. So I really enjoy those. So I'll probably keep doing the cooking shows. Artistic Vegan made some lists, so that's kind of cool. It made like top 2017 blog to follow this year, and top inspirational blogs. So that's exciting. It's been a long haul. I've been doing this for a long time, and kind of new to the YouTube scene, but I enjoy it and I like it. And I have you to thank, and my husband and others for helping me get out of my shell. So thank you. And yeah, just probably, you know, obviously new recipes all the time. And I don't know if I have any books or anything on the horizon, or you know, I don't know what else. And then I'll probably help Joe out with some things here and there.
Yeah, or you could do a video. You know, you could do like a podcast or something like that, the basics, or I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas there. But what you do is amazing. So, I mean, please keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. And I certainly look forward to seeing your channel grow, your website grow, and pretty soon I hope to see you on the Food Network.
That would be a dream come true. It would be awesome. There's some other really big, you know, vegans in this space, but that's cool. You know, they're here for everyone, and the world needs it. The planet needs it. So to me, it's not about competition. It's just about, you know, collaborating and expanding. And the more people that be vegan, and you know, the less suffering there is in the animals, and the less pain and suffering that people are consuming, and the more pure energy they're exuding, the better, I think. So.
I agree. It's literally that quantum entanglement thing. When you've got giant factory farms that have chickens that are genetically modified to where they can only walk a couple of feet, literally before they collapse from their own weight, and they never get to see sunlight because they've done studies that supposedly if chickens never get to see sunlight, they get them a little bit larger. And then they add all the steroids and growth hormones and stuff in the feed. I mean, it's literally hell on earth. And then you think about these cows that literally walk around and shit all day. And then, you know, there's confinements. They get milked for a certain amount of time. And then at the end of their life, or at the end of their usefulness, they get slaughtered for beef or whatever. I don't know how everything works, but if you look at cows that are slaughtered for beef, a lot of times these factory farms, they go through these cycles where they're literally in line waiting to get killed, and they can hear these cows in the background going, "Aah, aah," and people eat that kind of stuff, and all that gets into the meat and into the. It's a cyclical thing, and yeah.
And then if you think we're all one and we're all made up of the same energy, and then, you know, I don't know, once you go vegan, then you start, you know, seeing that compassion towards everything else. And this is a challenge for me to bring up. I'm kind of more like happy. He calls me June Cleaver in the kitchen. but he mentioned in his last show the Pizzagate scandal, and everyone that's kind of all the positive news about all the bad people that are getting locked up and everything. That's actually kind of hopeful for once in the universe, which is great. But on the Colleen on Facebook mentioned, you know, because he mentioned if you're taking you know, the sacrament at church and eating the bread and drinking the wine, and then you're God eating, or then you're partaking in that energy because someone is taking the rites, and that blood, you're almost doing like a blood sacrifice without even realizing it. And Colleen on Facebook mentioned that the same could go for meat, and I think someone else mentioned it on your leak project comments as well. And you know, and that could be true, that if you're taking that blood from that animal and then you're consuming it, and a lot of times it's done in a ceremonial fashion over a barbecue and then closed with amen, which is, if we follow Gerald's research, it's Marduk, then you can see that this is like, what the hell is going on here with pushing the meat and eating it, and there could be more to just eating a hamburger than meets the eye.
Absolutely. And I would like to say also, even on top of that, when you meet people or watch, like there's a TV show that I'll spend 5 minutes once in a while and watch, where these people in Alaska are homesteading and they literally survive off the land, and they'll eat, they will kill a cow and they will eat every part of it, and they feel bad when they do it, and they do it in a very, I mean, if they do it in a way, I guess you could call it humane, because the cow doesn't realize it's getting taken out. They're loving on it, they're petting it, and then when they consume it, I see that being a lot different than somebody that's just like, going out and buying a Big Mac every 4 hours because that's consume. I do see in certain situations, but at the same time, I guess you could argue that, and you could say, look, there's enough technologies now where those people could do all greenhouse, they could do all vegetables and everything else. But still, I mean, put yourself in that situation. You're in Alaska where it's cold 9 months out of the year, and 3 months out of the year it's sunny and stuff like that. And I think it would be more difficult in that type of situation.
Unless you have like money to build an Earthship home and build that greenhouse facility, I can see how it would be hard to. Yeah, we can see both sides of the coin and have compassion for both parties.
Absolutely. But even they know, and they talk about it when they do it. They're like, they feel bad because they feel like that cow is a part of their family. You know what I mean?
And they're more physically involved, whereas today you just go in and get the prepackaged thing and then season it, and you just see the finished product usually without, something split open or something.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. I would have a tough time actually killing an animal to eat it unless I was in like dire straits, because I've thought about that before. I've been like, man, could you actually go up to a chicken and just cut its head off, or could you go up to a cow and do what you needed to do? I've never done it. So, but if it was life or death, then I probably could. Obviously I wouldn't be like, well, it's either me or the chicken. What do I do? I'd eat the chicken. I would.
We both grew up on farms, so my dad hunted. He went hunting every, for deer and for elk, and he, and we had chicken, and we had the farm, and the turkeys with their heads cut off at a certain time of year, and Gerald had it too, and he lost his poor deer pig. Dad had one of those farms his mom took him to. But I don't think he liked bacon or pork the rest of his life after that. But he still ate meat. We ate it for every year. So, we weren't always this way. But I must say that our energy and how we feel and, our health, I used to be sick all the time and have stomach aches and go to the doctor. And I haven't been to the doctor in years and, feel great. So
that's good. Saying something right there. I think that testimony, what you just brought to the table for people out there that might have certain
like digestion issues or
that would be a great way to try out.
I used to go and just say, I don't know what's wrong, my stomach just hurts, and they're like, well, maybe because you just ate,
No, don't call me unless you're dead. Oh wait, you'll be dead, you can't call me. Sorry. We got you again, sucker.
That's so true. They're not, I know, to me, they're not there to help or to heal. I think that the original intention of the person going in there that wants to help others is pure, but then the pharmaceutical and the drug companies and everything takes over for money over people's true, genuine health.
Say that I really appreciate you coming on the show, and thank you so much. And I would recommend our audience go to artisticvegan.com. Also check her out on YouTube. And thank you so much, Christa. I look forward to seeing what you have in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rex, and thank you, everyone at Wheat Project. I really appreciate it.